All right, looks like we're live. Hey, Mike Healy here. Very excited to have you on here. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. I am so excited to bring to you today an interview with our Chief Operations Officer, Carlos Diaz. And I'm going to go into kind of his background, his stories, but most importantly, we're going to talk about what's important to you, which is getting your money to make more money, get that money to make babies. How we're doing it with our platform, with our trading platform, and our company, FutureX3, is just getting started, but we have stuff put together that is going to absolutely rock your world. Before we get started, I do want to throw out this disclaimer. We are not going to be guaranteeing incomes. We are not going to be guaranteeing success. Your results are obviously, or may vary for sure. We're not we're not giving you investor advice, what to do with anything like that. But we're really just, my purpose here today is to kind of just introduce you to Carlos so that you can see that what we're bringing to the table, what his background is just absolutely mind-boggling at the benefit you'll have by being partnered with us and being able to watch what he does. So let me kind of just, I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of his background. As Chief Operations Officer, Carlos is basically very, very well known in the futures and Forex market for trading. He's been doing it for more than 20 years, successfully predicting market movements. He's been an analyst since 1994, and he's actually created a company where he's been teaching high profile clients since 2001. So he's been doing it a very long time. He looks pretty young, okay? So he looks pretty young, which is pretty cool. He's been taking, teaching these people, specific and proprietary trading information. Okay, so he's got an extensive background. So here's the thing, though. This is so funny. As I talked to our vice president of sales, Rick Moore, just late last night after he had done a call with you and one of our other associates, and he says, Mike, that might be the most powerful thing I've ever heard. And I know the gentleman that you had that interview with or the talk with, this guy, I know the guy owns like 3 private jets. I've actually had dinner with that guy. Super cool dude. Really fascinating. But he's like, I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. But what I wanted to do is, I think it's important to have you tell your story of how you got started in investing, because a lot of people out there, everybody wants to grow their money. I mean, nobody's dumb enough to not think that, hey, if I have $10, I would like to grow it into 20. Okay, that's just not, it's common sense. But most people get afraid of it. Because of lack of knowledge. It says that lack of knowledge can hurt people in most cases. And I think that what's neat about starting it with this story, what you've done, is how you started with basically zero knowledge. And you've just gone to the part where, like I like to say, is your money's making lots and lots of babies. It's got families out there now, and you're doing it for other people. And to be able to jump on board with somebody like you, to tap into your knowledge for, the kind of basically the little bit that we have to do to learn it, it's really remarkable. So Mr. Diaz, if you don't mind, introduce yourself, maybe tell us a little bit if you want to add to that, obviously, and then I'll throw some questions out at you to really get this thing rolling. So everyone give a big round of applause for Mr. Diaz. He's over here pointing that way. Thank you for having me on here, buddy.
Thank you for having me. So is the audio coming good?
Yeah, you're good. You're great.
All right, awesome. So yeah, so the story is quite similar. You hit right in the nail a lot of the most important parts of the journey of anybody who wants to have some sort of experience in the markets, right? So I started when I was 16 years old. I basically got interested about the market, just reading stuff, young, teenagers and stuff like that. Then I was blessed to start working with a very well-known company, obviously as an employee, normally in the airline industry. And that gave me the opportunity to, I'm sorry for that. So
all right, I know you're busy, so I know it's hard to pin you down. I've been trying for days to pin you down because I know how busy you are.
Let me turn that up.
Yeah, that's all right. You're all good. Yeah, I can't speak Spanish anyhow, so I have no idea what they're saying.
I know. So it's just our team just doing the pre-market analysis for getting ready for the Monday. So,
okay, got
so when I was in the airline industry, that gave me the opportunity to fly for free, right? So I'm just trying to make long story short. So I got my first opportunity to fly one of the tickets they give you. So I went first class, obviously. So here I am, a teenager in first class, and the gentleman that was sitting right next to me got curious what this kid is doing here. So I had to say, I just work for the airline, so I'm just going to New York, just have fun with a couple of friends and whatnot. And the guy was a money manager. So we got talking, obviously, 3.5 hours of flight, and he got me really interested about the market. That was the beginning actual stages of what a lifestyle could be. I mean, it's flying first class and all this stuff. And I'm like, teen. And then he found out I was going to New York, buy some stuff, and then bring it back to, back home and sell it. So, I mean, you're trading anyways, so you might as well get interested. And he pointed me into the right direction. And long story short, we kind of kept in contact, and he invited me to see how the market works on the floor. So he gave me passes into the pit, and I was really inspired about that type of experience. So I decided to at that point, that would be something that as I go through college or whatever, but that's something that I might go into it. Little did I know it's not as simple as that, but through the process of the year, I started to learn, and that one thing point me to the other, one person direct me to the other, because I was just a kid, no money. I just wanted to learn. I was, really into it. I never had hobbies, expensive stuff. I was all into business, entrepreneurship, and all this stuff, specifically into the markets. And I just buy my way into multi levels of knowledge of different modalities of investment, stocks, futures, options, everything out there. But the futures was the one that actually hit the nail for me, because I noticed and I saw how my mentors at that point that were making huge amount of returns the same day. So the futures market is a liquid market.
Say that again.
So basically the futures market, since it's a fully liquid market, it closes the same day. They make money the same day, like either win or lose, of course, but you're liquid the same day. And that got my attention. So I met through this guy, I met the owner of another gentleman who owns a very famous brokerage firm, Lakefront Futures in Chicago. So the guy just introduced me to them. They opened me an account when I was 21 years old. I was getting started. They offered me to be an IBO, introductory brokerage. So I got, okay, whatever, let's just go at it. And at the meantime, I still got my job, right? So it's a two-way, because you need to sustain yourself. And I was going into engineering college as well, so studying electrical engineering. So I never quit anything. I just went all in, right? And I said, okay, so this is what I wanted to do. So through the years, I had a job, was studying, making money, put some into the market and blowing it out, repeating the same process again. So you can see where I'm going with this, which I pay my dues, right?
Yeah.
Make money, $5,000 saved, put it on the market. I mean, I live with my parents. I have no obligations. Put it in the money, boom, blow it out. Do it again, over and over. I say to the tune of probably $50,000 through the process of probably 10 years, not all at once. All I'm saying is you learn, you go back, you try it again, learn. So, and this is not to, not put a bad vibe. This goes into a segue that if you don't know what you're doing, right? If you don't prepare yourself correctly, you might as well throw your money away. That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to find a shortcut. I learned this, boom, let me try it out. Didn't work. Do it again, where I should have stayed focused, prepare myself, practice first, and then put my money into it. But we're kids. I mean, we were young. I just wanted to go in, no obligations. Let's just do it that way. So long story short, this person, the owner of the brokerage firm, he's an S&P 500 futures trader on the floor where they were streaming and everything, that was massive. And once I saw one of the amount of returns that they could make because they were managing for themselves and other clients, I said, this is just mind blowing. So the opportunity there. And that was when I decided to go completely all in, 94. Like, that's it. This is all I wanted to do. When I start asking and finding my way through trading, I figured out one thing, and this is a segue, was very important. Anybody can be a trader. Anyone. I have a picture of my son. So he's Daniel. He was, I think, 3.5 years old, and he got lost on the house, right? So we're standing. So we just go ahead at it. I just added a brand new office on the back. So I say he might be in the office. When I go in there, he's sitting. I got a picture of this, though. He's sitting on my desk, clicking away on a live account of trading.
Oh, my God.
The bad thing is that, yeah, as you already know, he plays a couple of trades, all lost. So I couldn't go the other way. But for me, I got, obviously, you know how it is. Money is money. So I was like, what? But then again, it was so cute because he was just, doing what daddy was doing. So I took a picture saying, this is the youngest trader ever in life, right? And this is when it hit me. Anybody can be a trader when you click a button. The question is, why are you clicking that button? Why are you buying? Why are you selling? So this is when I understood that in order to have success in trading, you have to become a freaking good analyst first. If you don't do your due diligence, you're just flipping a coin of 50-50 like most everybody out there. Then that goes into, how can I make that flipping coin strategy a little bit better? Let me buy this indicator, or the indicator do this. So I'm trying to flip the 50-50 into a little bit over, but still you're going into another 50-50 chance with that indicator, because if you don't know what it does, what's the best timing, right? The what is the opportunity? What is not the opportunity in terms of the instrument that you're trading at? It's just plain and simple. You're just doing, again, another trading decision without having a real understanding of the reason why. So I decided to put myself into, I kind of grew up and say, okay, I'm stop trading. I'm not going to trade anymore. Let's just be realistic until I have X amount of money. But most importantly, until I'm really, really, really good at predicting the market. By that time, I met 3 very incredible managers, if you will.
How many years do you think you were into this now at this point when you were starting?
I started in 94. This was close to, I was already maybe 98, 4 years in.
Okay, perfect.
That was about 4 years in. And I got really good at starting to read charts. So I started with, one of my mentors said, the first thing you can't overwhelm yourself. Doesn't matter. I started with Forex, by the way, which is kind of boring at this point now. But Forex, that's what it is, because anybody can start with a few bucks in there. And that was a wrong mentality, right? Everybody's trying to become the trader. Dude, don't do that. You can't become the trader. First of all, you don't know what you're doing. Number 2, why? Because you're going to start with $100. What are you going to do? $20 a month? How are you going to pay the bills with that? So
I'm that guy. That's the thing that has been hard for me to hear you guys when you talk, especially hearing a story like this, is I was that guy. See, I've been an entrepreneur for 23 years, and I've made a lot of money. But then when I started making money, before I had any kind of knowledge of what to do with it, I might as well just set fire to it in my yard and had a marshmallow roast, and I'm thinking to myself, man. And then I tried like being an investor by just saying, some guy would say, hey, buy this stock. And I would just throw some cash down and just watch it disappear. But then when I started hearing how you guys have been doing this for years, and now you're creating a company that's allowing people to basically become, to just watch over your shoulder. And we'll get into the details of that.
Correct.
It really, not to interrupt you on this, but it's,
no, go ahead.
I get what you're saying, because I'm that guy, but most importantly, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be this guy that can go, okay, well, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna look at this. If this does this, I'm gonna do this. And that's how you predict, Data should drive your decision.
Exactly. And by these other type of businesses nowadays, the KPIs and numbers, that's what allows you to predict what's going to happen later on, right? With all this new modern stuff, Facebook ads and all this stuff, same story. If you don't do your due diligence first, you can't predict what the outcome would be. Does that make sense? So it's the same thing. It's the same type of analysis or in the same type of framework. But in the trading world, I was that guy as well. I was trying to become a trader. It's just, I'm telling you, it wasn't until years. I'm talking about, by this time I had it 3.5 years old. That's when it hit me. I was kind of doing it not wrong. I figured it out the hard way. But when I saw him, this is when it hit me. Everybody is a trader. So that sold me completely. This is almost 10 years ago. That's when it hit me and I'm saying, this is all wrong. Every single person who wants to become a stock trader, option trader, because this is all the type of clients that I have. Futures is my favorite. Forex is good enough if you can wake up at 1:30 in the morning. If you're in US, I'm talking, if you're in US, if you can wake up that early, fine by me. If you're in the UK, which is the best outcome, the timing, the profile for that market, then that's your market. It's not going to be the US opening. It's going to be the UK opening. See, right. It is respective. But all I'm saying is, if you have no decision, no knowledge of the why of the decisions that you're making, you're just flipping a coin. You need to become a really good analyst with a plan of action, so that when you take the action of placing a trade, the odds are higher, hence converting you a very successful trader. Not successful, consistent traders. Many people call a successful trader when you see those Instagrams, people pointing that I make gazillion bucks, $1 million, $25,000. This is the other thing that it gets me. The other day I saw somebody say, hey, I made $50,000 watching buy my course. And many young guys go into it. No harm done in that. That's what everybody wants, including ourselves. Just not, we can't kid ourselves about it, but let's just be rational. When you go in, the first thing you need to ask is, first of all, kudos to you. Great. That it's true, whatever. Let's just be honest. How much money did you put on that trade so that you can pull those 50K? Oh, I had $250,000 account. Come on. Why don't you just segue and start with that? Hey, if you have $250,000 in your account, this is what you could have done. Now I trust you better. So this is what I'm trying to see. Okay, everybody's falling into that, and everybody could reach that in stepping stones, right? Start first by becoming a very well-structured analyst, so to speak, of the market you decide to participate in, so that when the decision comes into pulling the trigger, hence converting you into a trader at that point, the outcome is going to be more of that 50-50%. So hope that kind of makes sense.
Yes, that's awesome. And that's the perfect segue for what the FutureX3
correct
has created. And I'm gonna have you explain it, okay? So I'm gonna just be on the outside looking in, right?
Mm-hmm.
How this works, just as in a nutshell, so somebody watching this is probably in this exact scenario, is I had a friend that called me up and said, hey, Mike, I just saw a company that I watched a video. I saw the CEO, that's actually who I interviewed, Refugio.
Okay. Yeah.
His first and last name I keep combining by accident, even though I known him forever. Refugio, and he was explaining, because he's had very extensive experience in networking, right? Like he's built, massive organizations. But the best thing about this is the fact that somebody can just come in and be a customer and never have to do that side, not forced to do that side if they ever wanted to. So let's say somebody talks to me about it and says, hey, Mike, how would you like to potentially, get your money to grow again, or learn how these things work, the futures and the Forex markets, you control the whole thing and stuff like that. And I go, you know what? Because I've actually asked this to a handful of people. I was testing this early, knowing that this thing was coming. I was just kind of dripping on some people. And I was shocked at how many people have either are known about it, have been looking into it, are currently doing it with with okay success. And I even did, because I'm kind of a nerd in this capacity. I went in and did a bunch of like Google Analytics searches and keyword searches to see the amount of search growth, search terms out there of people looking for it, and it's pretty astronomical. It's kind of going like this, because especially in today's day and age, people are looking to take control of their finances, to control their destiny financially, and that's what's really cool. So I say, you know what, this looks amazing, and I take a look at what you have to offer. What is it that I'm getting as a customer to learn with what you guys did? Because when you and Refugio partnered up with this thing to put it together, it's just mind-boggling to me. The more I'm telling you, the more, if you're watching this, obviously you're watching, if you're hearing my voice, that the deeper you dig, the more you look, the better this thing gets. Like, it's just every day, it's expanding for my vision, because I got pretty big vision, because I've done stuff, where I've done very, very well financially, but this thing's like going to a completely different level. And I'm seeing that with some of the people that I've already introduced us to. But go ahead and tell us, I say, this looks great, I become a customer. What is the benefit that I'm going to receive with the things that you've put together, that, that I'm going to now grow, or potentially grow? Disclaimer, not making any guarantees, investment,
Sure.
anything like that, but I'm potentially going to go in there and be able to watch and basically look over your shoulder live in most cases, a lot of times, if I understand correctly, and see exactly how this is done, and give myself a significant advantage over the masses. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the easiest way for me to clarify things so that you can have a point of reference of what's coming is it's basically starting with, I've been doing for 12 years now, very successful. I run my private, pre-market analysis and room.
You actually already have this.
I've been doing it for years.
12 years, and it's packed with high-level people that have.
Correct. These are sophisticated futures traders.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, these are specifically for my type of clientele. The difference there, that they trade multiple instruments. There's a lot of them out there, like crude oil, gold, wheat, corn, you name it. But we specified in the futures index, and I will explain to you the beauty of FX3. So, I mean, I don't believe in coincidence. This was just lined up. It was meant to be since almost 2 years ago. When now in December is going to be the second year when this brand new stuff launched. That I was like, come on, really? So we were talking about this idea, FX3, and all of a sudden, the industry came up with this new opportunity in the futures. Listen to this. To participate in what I'm doing, or what I've been doing on my personal business, on the room, for sophisticated traders, this guy has $250,000, couple millions in their bank account. The minimum is kind of the average doctor with 100K. And they trade maybe 1 hour with us, and they just wanted to, hey, tell me where the predictions of the potential upward movement and downward movements are. They make their...
So I'm sorry. And we don't have to have that kind of capital to get started.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. No, we don't. Check this out. This is the type of client that I have, right? And we provide them predictions or forecasting. But on top of that, we place our own decisions in the market that I select, so they can see that I also trust my own analysis. See what the point is?
Yeah.
I don't say most of them pay me just for the forecast alone. They don't follow me because they got their own stuff. See, that's okay. But most others say, yeah, so I like to follow you if you trade in here as well. So they follow me. I'm not the best trader. I am a freaking good analyst though. So I'm really good at predicting the levels. Everybody has their own different style of risk tolerance. So maybe I get in, I get out, I make what I'm looking for based on my personal daily plan, right? But other of my clients, they stay. They killed it. I mean, I'm talking massive amount of numbers because they have the capital to do so, but they're using the exact same analysis. How does this segue into FX3? When 2 years ago, this is called the futures index, right? The index futures. And to put it in perspective, one point of movement is $20, a win or lose. 2 years ago, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is the ones who has this type of instruments, said, we're going to come in, and we're introducing the micro futures, which is 1/10 of the risk. Meaning, many people really wanted to get involved with this, but they don't have the financial capabilities of it, because you need at least 5, 10, 15, 20K to get started in there with one contract. Now you can start with the micros, which is 1/10 of the size. Anybody with any background which has a real interest in participating into the market, it's like going into the Forex, the Forex that they can start with $400 or $500 and get started. That was not possible into the futures. That's the reason this was more of a exclusive level. Not anymore, man. It's just open up for everybody. You can start with $1,000, $2,000, whatever the broker allows you. We give you some obviously well-known suggestion because of the reality of trading, but you can get started with $400 and $500, literally, because you can open an account and start trading the micro futures. Now you're trading a sophisticated market with a very low entry level, which is massive.
Stop. Do you realize how hard I've had trying to sleep for the last couple of weeks after I've heard all you guys explain all this stuff and what's happening? Like, this is not a joke. I've been getting up at like 3 and 3:30 because my mind just starts thinking of the potential of all the people that I see that we can help and so on. Right. And I said this, I did an interview yesterday with Refugio, the CEO, mm-hmm. and in it, we were going over, because his strength is the fact that he's one of the best networkers in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, the world's pretty big. The industry's been around a long time, but this guy's been labeled as one of the best mentors in the world. Success from Home Magazine, businessforhome.org, mm-hmm. all these types of things. And the power of what we do in networking is leverage. It really is just a matter of, we have the ability to get people on board. But what's nice is networking's usually been used for people to create, smaller amounts of income. You know what I mean? Like, most people aren't going to go out there and kill it like somebody like him, unless you put the time, effort, talent, and learn, become a better person in most cases. But what's been nice about it is you can see people that have graduated, because Robert Kiyosaki in the book Cash Flow Quadrant, which is highly recommended, he talks about the the ESBNI, the employee, employed, the business owner, and the investor. Those people who don't have a lot of money are on the self-employed and employee side, but everybody really in reality would love to be the business owner. So you can go do your own shots, do your own things, but ultimately when you can be completely free and completely leveraged is when you're an investor, legitimately, not just a trader, where you can have your money working for you. But a lot of times people don't have the capital to get started in something that would get them to the investor level quicker, let alone being the business owner. And with what you guys have put together with the networking model of the kind of the referral, the affiliate, the team, whatever you want to call it, and the investment side of basically what you're teaching successfully and to train people on. And now that you're explaining that these micro things, oh my God, this is insane. So I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to interrupt because you got me all jacked up now. That's why I wasn't already, but I'm so excited to share this with people, because if they just understand that there's a better way of living out there than a lot of people have. I've told people, I heard this from a guy tell me this has had to be 15 years ago, and I never forgot it. And I say it a lot. There is a significant difference between making a living and having a life.
Correct.
And it's
You're absolutely right.
And you've nailed this. You kind of nailed it. So keep going, because I know there was more to that, but it was just, I think it was an important point that people that are looking at this maybe for the first time or wondering if, hey, I should jump on board. You're not going to see anything as good as this.
Oh, yeah. So I took it one step further, and I talked with my team. I got one of my proteges. I have only one protege. One of my students, he found me on YouTube. he happened to live a couple of blocks away, and 10 years later, here we are. He's actually a clone. He has all the knowledge. He trades a little bit better than I do sometimes, yeah. But it's awesome to have somebody who actually, has the vision and understanding what we do. So since we focus our efforts in, the first step is, hey, we need to do a really thorough pre-market analysis. Again, many people out there, and this is what FX3 brings into the table. What's different? What makes us different? We don't. First of all, we focus on what people can see results immediately. But I'm talking about really nice, decent results. I'm not talking about making gazillion bucks. In order to make $1,000, you need to learn to make $1 first. Make sense? Absolutely. So we need to go one step at a time. First of all, number one rule of FX3 is protecting our clients, our members, 100%. I'm going to be there. I'm probably not going to be the most nicest mentor. And that's one of the labels that they got for me. I don't like to sugarcoat things when we talk about putting your money at risk. It's easy to bring the finger and point it to, it was your fault, right? So I'm going to be the first one every single day, like I do with my clients. I mean, money managers. I got clients that manage multiple 8-figure accounts that they use my information to their benefit. They don't follow me. I'm not the trader. I'm the analyst. And this is something that we were talking yesterday with Rick Moore. I told him, look, here's what Carlos is, my company. This is what I am, what my team is. We are the spotter. You guys are the snipers.
I love that. He said that to me. He said that was, he goes, listen to what he said. Say it again.
That's what I refer to in order for people to understand. Because why are you successful? Oh, you're a great trader. No, I am not a great trader. Take that freaking thing out of your head. There's not such thing. Everybody's a good trader if you know why are you making the decision. Shift it first. Become good at understanding the reason why you're pulling the trigger, and you will see consistency. You're going to lose some, of course, but you will also know why you lose. So when I ask the tens of thousands of people that I've been helping through the year, and I asked them, can you tell me the reason why every time that you got a stop loss or you lost money? I swear, and I shouldn't say that, but I swear, I would say for every 100 people, maybe 3 will tell me, oh, it's just because I followed this indicators combination, blah, blah, it didn't work, right? At least they have some plan. The other ones, they have no idea. They don't have clear idea of why is it that they stopped out. And you might be asking, why are you focusing on the losses? Because that's where you learn. I don't care about the winners. The winners are the winners. When I lose money, though, I need to understand what happened so I don't make that mistake again. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And that's what we teach in FX3. But it has to be on a live day-to-day operation. I cannot come here and say, when this happened, this is what you can expect. Yeah, it's going to help you. But if you don't get presented on a real live situation every day, you're just not going to learn it. Come on, everybody. We go to college, right? How much you retain. You know that we only retain about 5%, something like that. So we make that decision and we say, let's just do the same thing that I do here. Let's take away the fancy stuff or things that most people won't be able to can't participate. Not even myself. I can't participate in a certain market. That's for the real players. I know how to predict them. I just don't know. I don't have the financial capability to be there. So I have to know my limitations on top of that. So you got to be humble. Going back into now, you got to be humble. You got to open up. You got to understand that nothing is perfect. And once you accept that, then you go into, okay, teach me what it works. This is what it works. I'm not saying that we're bringing the solution of it all, but I've been doing it for 22 years. I have never changed my strategy once I follow that process. So we're teaching a framework, which is learn to understand the structure of the market by a pre-market analysis. We'll teach that. How are we going to teach it? We're going to include some videos here and there, whatever, but we're going to do it on a day-to-day level. Every day, people log in. and we're going to do a pre-market analysis. And we're going to do, hey, this is kind of the area where we are. We're expecting the market to go here and there. But let me explain you why we're making that decision. Nobody out there is doing that. Nobody has that, you know what, to actually do it, because they don't trust if it's going to happen. I don't care if it happens or not, because I'm just the analyst. I know the future is unseen. I have no idea, but I'm teaching you how to prepare yourself every single day. And how that works, because we're going to do plan A. This is plan A. But if that doesn't happen, then this is plan B. Right? And if neither happen within a time span, plan C is no risk, dudes. Go home, turn this off. See you tomorrow, guys. That's how we play the game. That's how we've been doing it for 12 years straight with success on it. And we're not have thousands of people in our room, because it's not for everybody. That's the other thing. This might not be for everybody, but we're making it available for everybody now, because you can get started. There's no, I've seen people blow out $15,000, $20,000 in Forex stuff and whatever, because they think that what they see is easy. Again, it could be easy if you know what you should be doing, but don't follow somebody else because they're showing their bank account. I don't show my bank accounts. Listen to this. It is a good one. Carlos, why do you, and this happens all across, why don't you just show your bank accounts? First of all, futures earning doesn't necessarily past performance doesn't necessarily mean futures results. Let me do it one step further. Here's how Carlos works. Don't pay me a cent. Don't do that. I'm not going to show you my trade results. I'm going to show you what I am able to do without you paying a cent. So here's what we're going to go. Follow me for 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. This is how we do it. And if I am full of BS, you don't lose nothing. But if I impress you, then it's your P&L that's going to take the results. See how that works?
Wow.
That's my approach. That's the reason I have had a very sustainable success rate with our service with the same clients for over 12 years. People stay paying us per month $300. Why? It's not because I'm the best guru shot up trader. No, it's because I bring them the valuable information so that they can turn it into a profitable results based on their level of risk tolerance. Nobody has been able to do that. And I'm trying to bring this over and educate people, saying, I'm not talking or bashing anybody out there. There's a gazillion awesome traders. I'm not going to kid myself. There's incredible talent out there. The only thing is that the focus of their marketing is just to sell you the results, but they do not teach you the structure of becoming one, right? Why am I selling you if I make $100K a month if you don't have the financial capabilities or you don't have the knowledge or structure to do so? Right. So let's just start with the basics. We'll teach you how to do a really thorough pre-market analysis. We'll teach you how to, we'll give you the predictions. We'll keep it only on 2 markets. That is the best introduction, money-wise, risk-wise, for anybody to get involved. So we got one that is really highly volatile, the NASDAQ. And we got the Russell, which is perfectly kind of the imbalance. But at the same time, you can start with less than $2,000, I guess, or something like that. And you could see, I'm not going to say how much you can make because everybody's different. You see what I'm going with that?
Yep.
But you will see, based on our comparison, some days you're going to see what other people's into the Forex stuff make in a week or a month. You can see it here in a day or 2, because that's the beauty of the leverage of the futures. But our job is to bring you in, watch over our shoulder how we do a pre-market analysis, no complex stuff. You also have we'll have access to detail of a structure training on how it's going to be done, but you're learning and then you're seeing every day how it's done, what you learn. It's not, here you go, good luck with that. No, this is how you're going to do it. Watch us doing it every day, over and over and over. I wish I would have had that. Yeah, I never had that. I'm going to tell you. So And it's just a matter of, I think Rick Moore can tell you that within the third day, the first day he was like, oh my God, what happens here? Second day, Third day, there is a pattern here. And then sailing, relax, just follow through. And then we place trades based on our analysis so that you can see how it's done.
That to me, so when I heard the model that you guys put together that we were about to launch, so the ability to go out, find other people, obviously, that want to do the same thing, how very little, really, like really, really little the amount to come on board is, and actually what they have structured and set up that you can actually get your account set up for free with FutureX3 by doing a few little things, and that's actually in the compensation plan
to get started. Exactly.
You get started, very inexpensively.
Right.
You can actually get your account then paid for. I was sitting here going, are you kidding me? And now I can look over the shoulder of a guy that's been successfully doing this type of thing for 20 years, just like I would maybe be wanting to learn how to play basketball. And I'm standing with Michael Jordan and saying, hey, how do you shoot a free throw? Well, go ahead and watch me like 50 times, for 2 days or 3 days in a row. And then walk out here with me, and then I'll let you shoot a few buckets if you want. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is just nutso of what the potential is for myself. Obviously, obviously you're thinking of yourself first, and people that I know that I've worked with before, and that I know that are entrepreneurial minded, or just people that I want to help and say, hey, I don't know if this is for you or not, but you need to watch a couple of these interview videos that I've done with these guys, because they're going to blow your minds of what's out there that you may not have known. I mean, and I think I said this, I think, on the call with Refugio, that it's almost like, we find a ton of people out there that are extremely thirsty, but they don't know how to get water. And we have got a well that is drinkable, awesome, deep, ready to roll for people if they want to jump on board. And it is brand new with what you guys have put together. And we're getting started. So I know we've been on here a lot longer. We could probably talk for hours. Anyway, but why don't you, Carlos, give us just a few closing thoughts. And if you were to talk to somebody that's maybe taking a look at this for the first time, or trying to make a decision, kind of why jumping on board with this would be the right thing for them potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing that I would say to anybody, this is including for friends with the COVID-19 stuff, a lot of friends and never thought about getting into the markets. Now they're flooding in. Hey, Carlos, can you help me? Blah, blah. So fine, I'll take them over. So the first thing is you need to be 100% sure that you want to do something, right? You got to be all in within yourself, right? Could it be this? Could be something else. Whatever you do, make a decision and give it time. Does that make sense? Don't try to brush it up for a couple of days or a week. Say, you know what? This sounds like really interesting. You said something interesting. Go do a Google research about what's the potential of trading futures. And there's a lot of people saying the negative side of things, which I just covered, which is a risk factor because you have no idea what's going on, right? But let's just take that. Let's just put the pin into that, because we're giving you kind of the basic structure of how to know how to don't get started the wrong way. We're getting you started the right way. Even if you walk away, let's say after 30 days, this is what I've seen, by the way. Even if you walk away, this is not for me or whatever, you're going to walk away with a lot of knowledge that then you're going to say, holy crap, I got to go back, because it has happened. And this goes into saying, I personally launched a test group for this project for 1.5 years. 60 something people only, privately. That's it. It was closed doors. Everybody was open to stay or leave at any given moment. But the process was, let's just focus on teaching this to markets, and we're only going to teach this information that is what they require to make the best out of the service. Does that make sense? Yep. I don't want to teach you over one step, because there's no importance in that, unless you say, I want to get into this. Then we can open up and say, oh, we can teach you this now. We can teach it, but you don't need none of that. to be successful by following us on our service. So our focus is, let me train you well on the basic structures of price reading, whatever that you can use on stocks and whatever, that's good. But I'm going to train you how to take that and make the best of what we're going to serve you on a day-to-day operation. So we're training you how to make the most out of a room. We did exactly that with this model with close to maybe, I'm not going to kid, 200 and something people tested. We closed door about 70 something people for a year and a half. After we stopped, we closed everything. There were 39 people that stayed with us for 1.5 years with zero experience in trading. That is, they're now my clients because we closed everything. 38 to 39 people say, this was great, whatever. Can I sign up for your service? And now this is done. And now we got, which when you go into the ratios, that means 39 people were making a payment on a monthly basis. And you don't pay money just to throw it away, isn't it? You're getting through 3, 5, 10 times back where you're putting in. So that goes with saying there is for you out there who are looking to get your hands into an opportunity that is unique, exclusive. And I talk about exclusivity because that's what it was before. It is elegant. Many people call futures trading kind of the elegant level of the trading world. We're going to walk you through the process. The less you could do is give us at least 30 days to rock your world in terms of the information you're going to get. And you be the judge. We're not here to take anybody's money, first of all. We're here to teach everybody a lifestyle through how to get your ways with the micro futures first. And listen to this. One of our clients, the 30-something that were left, this is something, all of them were introduced to micro futures. This you're going to like. And I'm going to close with this so people can understand. How the way that we make money or lose money, it's based on how many points, because that's how this is measured in the industry. Every point that you make or you lose in the micro contracts, in the micro Nasdaq is $2. $2. That's great. So if you make 5 points, you made $10. Make sense?
Yep.
If you made 20 points, that's $40 within minutes. That's great. Win or lose, right? So we've been averaging really, really great. In 1.5 years, we had one losing month. One. Wow. In 1.5 years. That was awesome. And here's the other thing. I wasn't doing the trade. You know who was it? My protege. Because he's extremely focused spotter and sniper. He's kind of the hybrid between both. Because he just go in, get his stuff. Thank you guys, we're done. Sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes half an hour. We were done. Here's a kicker. One of the guys at the end of the time that we interviewed most of these guys, most of them were averaging on the micro contracts. I'm going to say it because they had the results, okay? Based on that, 2 points, win or lose at the end of the month, they were averaging about $1,500 a month. Not bad, not shabby at all, right? It was really decent, right? For the average, I would say $1,000.
I mean, that's a mortgage payment if somebody wanted to do that.
Correct. But again, I'm here not to sell, right? Oh, gazillion. Now get this. Here's a kicker. That was based on micros. And then there was one guy who said, no, since I got started, I follow you micros, but I was trading on minis. And he was doing the same average. So I'm going to do the math. Let you do the math. If the minis are 1/10 and the guy, if the micros are 1/10 of the minis, and everybody who was doing micro were averaging about $1,200 a month, how much do you think the guy on the minis was making?
Wow.
12 grand.
Yep.
On average. Now, I don't know about anybody out there, but once you graduate from the level of understanding, you move into practice, make perfect, consistency, and confidence. You see where I'm going with this?
Yep.
Consistency will bring you confidence. I know what to expect on the win or lose. The guy moved into, I know what I'm doing here now. I'm going to move to minis. So he went from average $1,000 a month to average $10,000 just by one switch, switching from micros to minis. The decision is the same. The movement, the outcome based on points, the same. No extra risk other than the fact that he was willing to switch from one contract to the other because he had now the confidence to put that kind of risk, and he had the financial backup from it.
Wow.
And I was mind blown because I was seeing on the chat sometimes how much, because we asked how you did, win or lose. We like to see how people are doing, because if they're losing, what do you do? We care so much about our clients, dude. You have no idea, right? We do care. How you make, oh, good. No, what's going on? I didn't move the stuff the way that you do. Fine, let's work on that. You see, we try to help as much. But all of a sudden, this message pops in. Everybody, I make 50, I make 100, I make 40, I make 30, I make 1,200. All of a sudden, the next day, same thing, all of a sudden, 2,200. And now I figure it was this person.
Right.
At a certain point, he switched. People say, oh, but how many points you were making? No, the same points. It was that he switched from one contract to the other, this goes into the closing saying, the opportunity has never been the best, because you're going to learn the ropes. I wish I would have had that, man. You're going to learn the ropes, not necessarily risking your life savings into this. Anybody can just do it now, right? It's just getting started very small and get your way on it. And then once you build the confidence, consistency, boom, 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 it's up to you. The sky's the limit with the futures. That's what excites me the most.
Wow.
Right? So that's what we're going to bring on FX3. Give yourself the opportunity to watch, and don't judge by what others say. That's the stupidest thing. I'm sorry to say that. That's a learn as well. I didn't do that. How about this? Many people were talking to me into the Bitcoin stuff. I don't do Bitcoins, but you know how many people were asking me about doing the analysis for Bitcoin? And I kept doing, and people made millions with my analysis on Bitcoin. Why? Because I was not too interested in Bitcoin, because I left myself being controlled psychologically by other people that I used to follow. Oh, don't do Bitcoin. That's the stupidest thing or whatever. I don't care. It's okay. I didn't do it because I was kind of trusting that. I missed the boat big time. In terms of me, because I was doing the predictions for the people doing the Bitcoin, and I've seen them. I think Refugi is actually one of them. They killed it, making hundreds of, with the same knowledge. What I'm going with this, don't let your decision-making be clouded by someone else in terms of negativity. I'm talking about you be the judge in terms of you try it out. I'd rather, what was the saying? There's a saying in Spanish that it says, I forgot it. I'd rather make my own judgment than being clouded by someone else's judgment or something like that. Right. Because you don't know what you might be missing, right? And by the time you figure it out, maybe it's too late. I don't know, right? So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, one of the best sayings I ever heard from a guy that was making over, in our industry, was making over 7 figures a month. Yeah, like it was just amazing. And he was just this hillbilly, is, you know, kind of, I have a little hillbilly accent, so I can say it politely. But he was just amazing guy, super nice, big heart, did nothing but just give to people. It was fantastic. But he said something I never forgotten. This was 23 years ago. He said, never take financial advice from someone you don't want to be like financially.
And I 100% agree.
Wow. Like it was that statement dictated the majority of how I lived my life from that point on.
Indeed.
I would have people that, you know, would be, oh, you don't want to do that, And then I started looking at it, and I'm like, I don't want to live in the house that you're living in. I definitely don't want to drive the type of car you're driving. I don't like pretty much anything about you. So why would I take financial advice from this guy that's just poo-pooing it, as opposed to this guy over here that was making huge amounts of money, that was telling me, hey, I can help you with this, I can help you with that, I can help you with that. You know, and it's just shocking to me how many people do it. So Carlos, I know we've been on here almost an hour, believe it or not, and it went a lot faster than that. But it's good because I tell people, I said, look, it has nothing to do with the length of any video or interview or whatever. If someone's genuinely interested, they're still watching us, and this is the type of person that we're looking for. So I'm just good. Are you good with everything? What you said?
I'm done. I appreciate the opportunity.
I really, really sincerely thank you that I was able to pin you down, especially this early in the company, just getting started, just getting launched. And for people to hear ahead of time, the experience, the story, what we're bringing to the table so that they can have the confidence to go out there and tell people. So Carlos, thank you so much for being on here, man.
I'm here. Thank you for having me. Any questions, any future development, you know that I'm here to clarify anything. And I just hope that people could see the potential. We're not looking for exponential fast growth. We're looking for longevity growth. That's what I'm looking for.
Perfect. Don't go anywhere, but I'm going to go solo real quick and just close this out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're kind of finishing this up, obviously, is if you're not involved with our company, make sure you get back with the person that invited you to watch this and get all the details you need. If you still got questions, feel free to ask. They can direct you exactly where you need to go to get this thing going. But I'm telling you with everything in me, I have been an entrepreneur for nearly 23 years, and this may be the most excited I've ever been. And I've said that a handful of times, and rightfully so, because I've done very well and I know how to predict types of things. I know how to read comp plans. I know how to read business analysis. I know how to do analytics. I look at all kinds of different things. Like I said earlier with Carlos, is, when you become a professional, you learn how to make data-driven decisions as opposed to opinion-based decisions, is where most people get killed. When you start to learn these things, you can predict kind of the future a little easier, kind of predict the future a little differently than the rest of the people out there. And you give yourself a significant timing advantage. So here's what I'm going to tell you is get back with the person that gets you in here, tell them you want to get started. Run through the program, look at what we've got, follow the pattern. And then if it's not for you, no harm, no foul. We appreciate you jumping on board, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see that not only do we have something unique in our services, but I think you're going to also learn through Refugio and quite a few others of us that have had this type of experience that you're going to grow as a person if you're looking to do that as well. We're going to do some great events. We're going to recognize people for their accomplishments. We're going to really edify people out there publicly. We're going to do Facebook Lives. We're going to do interviews with you. And most importantly, once you start to have success, we are going to make sure that people know about it, that helps you attract those people, to introduce people to the opportunity. That way they can be part of it as well if they'd like to do that. So thanks again for being on here. I appreciate your time. And if you'll do today what others won't, you can live tomorrow like others can't. My name is Mike, and I'll see you on the other videos. Thanks.